in studying poetry will help you understand the Quran, right? That happened to Abu Bakr Siddiq. So talk about listening, right? So they had different dialects. Sahaba, the word knife had different words in Arabic, right? For some people, they use mudia, for example. Some people use sikir. Some of them didn't know the other word. If you use it, like, I don't know what that is. It's like it's in a way like a different language. Unless if you're really kind of an educated person and you're very familiar with other dialects, you will know that. That affects the words and that affects the pronunciation. Right? Why do we have imala in the Qur'an? Right? People who know Qirā'āt, we have like at least two types of imala. You have the imala sughra and imala kubra. So sometimes you can say, so you have the fath Musa, and you can say Musa, right? With a lot of intonation, and then you can say Musa, which is like a full. These are dialects, just the pronunciation of words. So imagine if you, now we do that in the Qur'an, go back to that time. The Prophet ﷺ is talking to Jibreel, and he's telling him, if I have a 7-year-old tongue, and all of your life to say Musa, and then I will tell him, all throughout the Qur'an you have to say Musa, it's difficult for him. Why? Is there a way not to force these people? And it's not going to affect their meaning, it's not going to affect anything, just like it's a mere dialectical difference. So if I will force that person, I will make the Qur'an difficult. And part of the distinctive feature of the Ummah is the Qur'an needs to be accessible to everyone. Right? Everyone should have access to the Qur'an, everyone should be able to read the Qur'an, and everyone is actually obligated in a way to memorize some of the Qur'an. We talked about that earlier, right? So we need people to have a strong connection with the text. So we need them to recite in an easier manner, in a more comfortable manner. Right? We have people who use Hamza a lot. And they have people who use Hamza a lot. And Hamza is a huge topic. Right? So Alex that doesn't use Hamza. When I say doesn't use Hamza, it's not that the letter doesn't exist in the alphabet. They use Hamza is, again, those who do qirā'āt, there are different ways of getting around the Hamza. That's the point. Hamza is a difficult letter, right? So you have Ibdal, you can see al-mu'minun, it's easier for a lot of people. Right? You have tasheer and for example. It's easier than if you study tajweed and your teacher keeps speaking on your Hamza all the time until you become like you lose interest in the whole thing. Right? Because it's very difficult. It's harf that is difficult to master. So like no, there are other ways to recite that. Mu'minun is easier, like a lot of people will be able to say it probably. I mean that's subjective, but a lot of people will be easier for them to recite this. And the idea of balance is also the idea of subjectivity is interesting. We'll talk today about the necessary qirā'āt across the Muslim world. But for example, now it became the case that most of us recited which qirā'āt most people recited? Hafs and Asim. Why? Okay. Hold on to that. Is it the Ottomans? Because that's the most common kind of one is that the Ottomans forced Muslims to not forced, not like that. With soft power, we force Muslims to recite. That's not actually necessarily very accurate. We'll talk about why people have that concept. But aside from the Ottomans, for now, why? Like, if you have a lot of Qur'an, why Hafs? It's not like what's very special about Hafs.